Very loose steering, very indirect. I feel like I'm going a million miles an hour, even though I'm just driving with traffic. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a very special car, the 1988 Mazda 323. This car is a straight time machine. This is powered by a 4-cylinder, 1.3-liter engine, putting out 66 horsepower and 75 pound-feet of torque. The car only weighs 2,050 pounds. We got 13-inch wheels with disc brakes in the front and drum brakes in the rear. This car is truly a time machine. And as far as transmissions go, got a 3-speed automatic, not even a 4-speed, guys. 3-speed automatic. This car was more popular in the GTX trim, which was the sporty all-wheel drive version, and it came with a 4 or 5-speed manual as well. This is the base trim. This is the lower level that you don't actually see that many car reviews of, so we're bringing one to you today. And the owner, Arshan, is going to show us some of the more interesting quirks and features of this car.
Yeah, so car has 2 keys. One of the keys is for you to get into the car, and then the other key is for you to start the engine. I guess that's how it was back in the day. The one that to get into the car is also unlocks your gas tank. So if you have to get gas, you can't just pull something. You actually have to come out and like unlock it, which is, I guess that's the way they did it back in the day. Another interesting thing with this car is the radio system. A lot of the newer cars, they don't have antennas, or if they do, they just stick out. This one, they added this feature where the antenna just like sinks into here, and whenever you want, you just have to pull it out. And so sometimes I'm driving and I want to listen to the radio, I'll just pull this out and then put it back in, and I just stick my hand out through the window. So that's kind of cool.
I love that.
Also, regarding the rims, so these are actually the original rims. And this
13 inches.
Yeah, 13-inch rims. So tire replacements are super cheap on this. Like I'm paying probably like $50 a tire. So it's really inexpensive. And they actually come with hubcaps. But I take them off because it's kind of rare, and I'm afraid for it to fall off or someone just takes it. But hubcap just basically just gets pushed into here. You just stick it on. I guess it's supposed to look nicer with the hubcap. I kind of like it without the hubcap. I think it looks nicer like that. It looks more.
It's like not even a full hubcap. It's like a half hubcap.
It's a half hubcap, and you don't get the hubcaps for both the front and the back. Only the front.
You know what's pretty cool is that these are glass. So this is original, right? You didn't have to even.
Original.
Yeah, so they don't fog up because they're not plastic.
Yeah, it's glass, and this is from 1988. It's I don't know 30-something years old, 34 or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty heavy duty, and no fogging. Never had to like get it like reshaved or anything like that.
Cool, man.
So
Can I take it for a spin?
Yeah, of course.
See how it drives?
Yeah, do your thing.
Do you know which key is which?
Yes, I do. So I believe this is the one that will start the engine.
All right.
And if it doesn't, you're gonna have to swap.
There we go. All right. Drive. Oh, we're getting some shakes. We're getting some rumbles. And off we go. Oh man, I love driving older cars. They're just so much more visceral. There's so many more noises and shakes and rattles, and the whole car is vibrating from the engine, especially when I get to a slower speed. Very light steering, very light car. Car only weighs 2,000 pounds. This transmission is a little bit funky. I've driven this before and we had issues downshifting, so I can't go too aggressive with it. The steering is, when I steer it, it's just a suggestion, and then the car's like, maybe I'll go in that direction. I mean, look at this. Car only has 62,000 miles on it. Yeah, the transmission can't quite make up its mind in shifting gears. The steering is just so funny to me. It's so disconnected. It's very light, very, very slow ratio as well, in case you can't already tell from the amount of movement I need to put in. Oh man, the brakes. I'm going deep to stop this thing. A lot of these older cars, the brakes, I guess because I'm used to modern cars, the brakes kind of sketch me out. Just look at the travel on my foot. I'm going pretty far and I'm still barely stopping. There's no feel, there's no modulation, there's no bite to these brakes at all. But that's not what this car is about. This car is a time machine. This car is about bringing you back to a simpler time, a simpler era. That little dip in the road with the gutter, that alone caused the car to turn in more. It kind of disturbed the car's balance ever so slightly. Very softly sprung. Very, the whole car, I would just say, is squishy. That's the one word to summarize this car, squishy. You got squishy steering, squishy brakes, squishy suspension. Oh yeah, these brakes. Oh my goodness. What a car. I think having a manual transmission in this would be much more enjoyable, because it's automatic. You only have 3 speeds, and then it can't quite make up its mind as to what gear it wants to be in. Looking at the dash, this is so funny to me how big the letters are. It's like the magnifying effect if you're an old person, you can't read things. I mean, look at the fuel gauge, it's so big! I feel like I'm also in a greenhouse. There's just so much glass, so much visibility. Definitely not a car that you want to get in an accident in, because you'll be toast. And to just the side views, you got these. How cool is that? This almost reminds me of the Rent-A-Cheapie I had in South Africa. That was a stick shift. It had no power steering, roll windows, all that stuff. And it was just so fun to beat the shit out of it. But again, with these older cars, the old automatic transmissions are just so bad that it takes a lot away from the driving experience. This car would be much more enjoyable to drive hard if you had a manual transmission, if you could control what gear you were in. Very loose steering, very indirect. I feel like I'm going a million miles an hour, even though I'm just driving with traffic. This car, the sense of speed, when you have a car that's so ill-suited to this kind of thing, it's hilarious. Oh, look at that turning radius. All right, come on. Come on. So there's no tachometer. I don't know what the engine revs are. I don't even know what the red light is. I just got speed, fuel, and coolant. And that coolant temperature seems to be broken. Even though this thing is so light, it feels like a boat. Over these bumps, the whole thing will kind of rock one way or another. I think the suspension is made out of marshmallows. This car is just a little squish ball. The AC barely works. Man. And look at the steering wheel. Look how this just rotates and bends like that. That's hilarious. Such character. It's doing this weird thing where it starts like undulating. Alright, we're good now. It's interesting to me how normally when cars are so light, when they only weigh 2,000 pounds, they feel so nimble. But this car, due to a few factors, doesn't feel very light and nimble. You have a chassis that's not very stiff at all. That's part of it. You have suspension that's also very softly tuned. And as a result, it feels much larger and much heavier than it actually is. The very slow ratio steering also requires a lot of input to get the car moving. So all these little factors add up to our perception of a car's weight. Even though it's 2,000 pounds, it feels like it's much more. Look at this vibration. Amazing. What a cool little car. And this thing has a lot of space. It's pretty practical. My friend was saying you can fit 5 adults in this car without issue. And again, just because of nostalgia, because I grew up with some of those early 90s Japanese cars, some Hondas, etc., some Toyotas. I like the cloth seats. I like this hard, dark gray plastic. This reminds me of my childhood. Character, baby, character. The first 6 inches of brake travel do nothing. And then even after that, it does barely anything. In terms of driving enjoyment and driving dynamics, you don't buy this car if you want a sporty experience, obviously. This car is more of just a quirky, fun little squish ball that brings you some laugh and joy because it's just so ridiculous. But in terms of all of the traditional metrics, the steering, the brakes, the handling, the chassis dynamics, no, you're not. You drive this car beyond 3/10, it just starts falling apart. That's not what this car is designed for. But as always, it's such a treat and a joy driving these cars from prior eras because things were just so different back then. And it's not just about having greater appreciation for the level of sophistication and fit and finish and refinement that we have today, but it's also just fun driving these old cars because it's an experience that we don't get day to day. Anyway, my friends, thank you for watching. If you're in the Las Vegas, Los Angeles, San Diego, or even San Francisco areas, and you want me to review one of your cars, then please do let me know. Get in contact. Much love, my friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Whoa. Understeer.